Tenemos ahora desde Estados Unidos Todd Burrus, que va a compartir con nosotros la mirada desde su empresa multiplicadora de semillas, cómo produce. Vamos a charlar mucho de esta problemática y cómo desde allá, desde Estados Unidos, un productor maneja los lotes. ¿Quién es Todd Burrus, compañero?
No, Todd Burrus realmente es una persona, una empresa, el dueño de una empresa que es familiar, que nos ha abierto las puertas en USA para la marca DONMARIO Seeds. Así que el agradecimiento de todo GDM, de todo DONMARIO, y agradecerle la apertura que ha tenido con nosotros. Van a escuchar un video muy sencillo, muy simple, de alguien que tiene mucha experiencia, pero realmente con conceptos muy claros. Así que bueno, los dejamos en vista del video.
Impecable.
Adelante.
Impecable. Bueno, después les recuerdo que viene Gastón Suardías, gerente de marketing de GDM, para terminar este bloque. Y banquen no, porque tenemos un cuarto bloque espectacular. Este nos va a dar vuelta a la cabeza, que es la evolución digital, transformación digital, cómo prepararnos para las oportunidades que vienen. ¿Sabés quién va a estar? Bueno, Daniel Gándara, vicepresidente de IT de Mercado Libre. Vamos a abrir la bocha. Mercado Libre, lo dije al principio, una empresa de 44.000 millones de dólares. Alejandro Larosa, cofundador y presidente de Agrofy, también desde el agro. Y Nacho Bartolomé de Estados Unidos, él es el responsable de esta parte tecnológica. Es un panel espectacular. Así que vamos con Todd Burrus, vamos con Gastón Suardías y después seguimos con el último panel. Señor director.
Thank you for inviting me to have this opportunity to communicate with you about our Enlist experience here in the U.S. My name's Todd Burrus. I am a third generation family owner in our business. And our business is located in the very center of the United States, in states known as Illinois, Missouri, and Wisconsin. We, as a business, have been in the seed business for 85 years. So we started in 1935. It would have been my grandfather that started the business. We sell both hybrid seed corn and soybean seed. And to be honest, we have been in the soybean seed business in the last 12 years. Our experience with the DONMARIO brand and the Bartolome family has been a 3 to 4 year experience, and it's been a fantastic experience for us. We've just found the family very, very good to work with. Ignacio is the one that I work the closest with. There's really three. The most concerning is a weed called water hemp. A second one that we term as mare's tail. And the third one is Palmer amaranth. And those three weeds over time have become resistant to Roundup or glyphosate, if you will. And you can spray glyphosate on those fields, and those weeds just are not impacted at all with the glyphosate herbicide. So we've needed to learn from that experience as to how we're going to control weeds, particularly in soybeans, with other technology and other herbicides. Quite frankly, without herbicides that have been bred into the soybeans with resistance, without those tools, we need to think about a cost per acre of about $50 or $60 per acre. And quite frankly, you need to treat typically 2 times. The weeds have to be controlled when they're very small with conventional type herbicides. And if you're going to have control, and quite frankly, you treat, there's another flash comes along and you have to treat again. Weed scientists here in the United States have encouraged us, if you do not control those weeds with conventional herbicides, then you need to consider hand controlling those weeds so that the weed seed doesn't get out of hand. So weed control is a big, big part of success in the United States. And, you know, I don't have to tell you, but hand labor is very expensive. If that's it's not only hard work, but it's very, very expensive if that's what we have to do. Currently, we have the Enlist E3 system available. We have a single mode of action, Liberty Link. We have what's known as Roundup Ready Extend herbicide system that uses dicamba. And we are anticipating approval of a new system from Bayer that includes Roundup Ready to Extend, and it's called Roundup Ready to Extend Flex, and that adds Liberty to that technology. The Enlist E3 system has resistance to glyphosate, glufosinate, and 2,4-D. The real advantage of this multiple modes of action is that will be the one thing, if we use multiple modes of action at the same time, is the best way to manage future weed resistance by using more modes of action rather than a single mode of action. One of the clear-cut advantages to the Enlist E3 system is when you apply the chemistry, the chemical stays put. It doesn't move off target. We began marketing Enlist as soon as it was available to market in the US. So our first sales year actually started in the spring of 19, just before planting season. And we sold about 15% of the soybeans we sold in 2019 were Enlist soybeans. This year in 2020, we're approaching 80% of our soybeans that are sold in 2020 were Enlist E3. And that is very rapid adoption for us to move from 15% to 80%. And there's a reason why, and that has to do with customer satisfaction with those soybeans and with that soybean system, and an anticipation of very good weed and grass control. The answer to that is yes. Today, it's a very competitive market in terms of herbicide control coupled with the technology. And there might be a few dollars difference, but it would be a limited number of dollars when you look at the cost of both the soybeans, the use of the technology, and the herbicides. I believe there's three reasons. Good genetics. Good genetics leads to good yields. And DONMARIO brand has been a big part of that for our company. Number two, effective weed control. Quite frankly, you cannot raise high-yielding soybeans here without controlling the weeds. If you have weeds and soybeans in the same field, the weeds win and the soybean yields suffer. The third reason is that it's safe and easy to use chemical system. And quite frankly, the one thing I would encourage your folks as they begin to market Enlist E3 soybeans is to concisely carry that message. There are three reasons a grower is going to like their Enlist soybeans: good yields, effective weed control, and it's safe and easy to use. And we carry that message. We're still carrying that same message 3 years in to the adoption or the sale of those soybeans, because we need to reinforce that message over and over and over again. And it needs to be a simple message that is very concise, but that has been, I believe, the key to our adoption of those soybeans. That are competitive with alternative technology. We have side-by-side yield performance of the Enlist soybeans next to other soybeans, both competitors and our own brands that are carrying other herbicide technologies. And it has been very, very obvious over time that will we win? Will the Enlist system win every time? No, it doesn't win every time, but the yields are very, very competitive. And that's really what growers want, is competitive performance. They don't have to win every comparison to be competitive. And yet I would be honest with you. In one of the state trials, there were like 30 different varieties from several of our competitors' brands. And our Enlist soybeans with DONMARIO brand was number 1, number 2, and then the competitive technology, but still DONMARIO beans come in 3rd with Extend. And that is a powerful message in terms of delivering confidence in those soybeans. In the United States, the only herbicide that is approved from a label standpoint to put on Enlist soybeans is the 2,4-D with choline. If you choose to use the other 2,4-D formulations, you're being illegal in the United States. And honestly, the 2,4-D choline, the advantage is you get the same weed control you got with old 2,4-D, but the advantage is in terms of it being safer to spray and able to stay put after it's applied. So there's really no consideration, and I don't know of any of our customers and growers that would consider using anything other than the new 2,4-D choline. Again, as a regional company, we're in a leading position to be at over 80% of our soybeans in Enlist E3. Nationwide in 2020, I believe about 25% of the soybeans were Enlist soybeans this year. And that would have been compared to about 5% a year ago. So from 5 to 25, most of the projections I see say in 21, it will be over 50%. I personally hope that there are multiple modes of action and other herbicides. I hope that it doesn't move on up to 90%, because we begin then to put pressure on weed resistance again. So it is my hope that there are competing technologies that can keep that about in that 50 to 60% range of Enlist adoption, so that we maintain weed control for a long time.